Hi there. Are you ready for tonight's story? Well, tonight we're going to read a book that was recommended by Ms. Blanche Gunter. She's the lady who runs our library here at the church. And this book is a retelling of an old folk tale that came from either India or China. A bunch of people claim it's that old. But this retelling is by Philomel Brooks, and it's called Seven Blind Mice. Are you ready? One day, 7 blind mice were surprised to find a strange something by their pond. "What is it?" they cried, and they all ran home. On Monday, Red Mouse went first to find out. "It's a pillar," he said. No one believed him. On Tuesday, Green Mouse set out. He was the second to go. "It's a snake," he said. "No," said Yellow Mouse on Wednesday. "It's a spear." He was the third in turn. The fourth to go was Purple Mouse. He went on Thursday. "It's a great cliff," he said. Orange Mouse went on Friday, the fifth to go. "It's a fan," he cried. "I felt it move." The sixth to go was Blue Mouse. He went on Saturday and said, "It's nothing but a rope." But the others didn't agree. They began to argue. "A snake, a rope, a fan, a cliff." Until on Sunday, White Mouse, the seventh mouse, went to the pond. When she came upon the something, she ran up one side, and she ran down the other. She ran across the top, and from end to end. "Ah," said White Mouse, "now I see. The something is as sturdy as a pillar, supple as a snake, wide as a cliff, sharp as a spear, breezy as a fan, stringy as a rope, but altogether the something is..." "An elephant." And when the other mice ran up one side and down the other across the something from end to end, they agreed. Now they saw too. The mouse moral. Knowing in part may make a fine tale, but wisdom comes from seeing the whole. You know, people have arguments all the time about what is right and what is wrong. And the problem with those arguments is so often people don't know the whole truth. They only know the little bit of truth that they've experienced. Sometimes we have to be humble enough to admit that we don't know everything. And as our bishop says, we think we're right, but we might be wrong. We need to listen to each other. You see, these mice, each one encountered only a little part of the elephant, and so they weren't able to tell that it was an elephant. Instead, they concentrate just on the part that they experienced, just on the part that they encountered. So the one that encountered the tail thought, "Ooh, it's a rope." And the one that encountered the trunk thought, "Ooh, it's a snake." And the one that encountered the great big elephant ears thought, "It's like a fan." Well, all of them were right in a way, but all of them were wrong because none of them knew the whole truth. And that's really important when we start talking about God. God is so big and so immense that we can't completely understand God. None of us can. And so when we get into arguments about what God is like, all of us are arguing from a limited point of view, a point of view that doesn't know the whole truth, like a blind mouse encountering only part of an elephant. That's one of the reasons Jesus came. Jesus came to help us know the nature of God. And the nature of God is love. And so Jesus taught us how to be kind and compassionate and forgiving and generous, because that's how we show love. And do you know why Jesus would come to help teach us the nature of God, that God is love? Of course you do. Because Jesus loves us this much. So God bless you. God bless you that you remember always that you are the beloved child He created you to be. Good night.